Yeah. All right. Facebook Live. It is Carla coming to you live on this beautiful gray and rainy day. Happy Halloween, everyone. Wishing you lots of, let's see, gluten-free, sugar-free goodies that are healthy and nutritious and nurturing for your body vessel. So beautiful ones. And perhaps you guys are out there getting ready for some kind of Halloween party, or perhaps you are getting ready for some kind of trick-or-treating with your little ones. But beautiful beings. Holly, hi, welcome. So when you guys are joining me for the very first time on my Facebook Live, say hello and let me know, where are you watching from and what is going on for you? How are you guys feeling out there? Okay, I have a lot of guys out there. Marcos says, hi, sexy girl. Marcos, off limits and not part of the rules here in my Facebook Live. I invite you to be respectful. And Mark says, hello, beautiful lady. See, that's a little more respectful. Beautiful. Thank you for the compliments. I take them in and I absorb them, and I am grateful for you guys coming on. So, hello, beautiful friends. My name is Carla Sampson. If this is your very first time watching me, let me say thank you so much for being here. It is such an honor and a blessing, and so juicy good to have such beautiful human beings tuning in and up-leveling and moving into your next level genius. And that is my work, that is my expertise, is to hold space for the next level feminine genius. Whether you be a man or a woman, you are rising within your brand, within your business, within your dreams. And that's what I do, is I hold space for human beings in their dreams. Mark says, love your thoughts and wisdom, Carla. Thanks for tuning in, Mark. So nice to have you on here. So, beautiful ones, I am feeling so energized and so vibrantly alive in this present moment here, probably because I just got a shot of Tony Robbins, and it was freaking phenomenal. Kristen and Shannon, hi! It was freaking phenomenal. It was next level, so beautiful. Something that I just forgot to do, guys, is I wanted to share this into my group. Femme Genius. Okay, not figuring it out right now. Where did that share button go? Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, I'll share it afterwards. So if you guys are unaware, I do have a group called Femme Genius, which I love to give deeper insights into growing your feminine business and really recreating what it looks like to be a woman in this new paradigm, holding space for the next level feminine genius to rise. So, okay, beautiful. Beautiful ones. There were so many unbelievably incredible insights from Tony Robbins, and I just want to get into the juice right away, right off the bat. So what I want to ask you guys to do is, if there are any insights that really feel profound and relevant for you, something that can be really extraordinary for you bringing in this information as well, is to actually type it into the chat. So if there's anything that you hear that you're like, wow, that really resonates with me and I really want to bring that into my embodiment, I'm going to invite you just to write that into the chat. What I've been realizing over these past few months, actually, with working with some unbelievably outstanding mentors, let me just call them out: Melanie Ann Layer, Stephanie Schultz, Sophia Tom, and Tony Robbins. Unbelievably exquisite next level mentors that have been holding epic space for me in my own growth and in my own transformation within my own business. What I have learned working with them is that the more that we can actually type things into the comments, or the more that we can actually write things down, it integrates into the nervous system, it integrates into the beingness, it integrates into the body, and gets into the emotional vessel and gets into the mental experience. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is, if there's anything that I state out loud that feels resonant for you and you are in a safe place to type it down, I'm going to invite you to type it into the chat. Let's start a conversation and let's vibe out together, because these spaces are where magic happens. Hey, Abby, welcome, welcome. Beautiful. Okay. Number 1, my friends. In this Power of Success Summit, Tony Robbins said something that it was so unbelievably, profoundly resonant for me. And it was very simple. He says, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. So write that down, guys. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Now, why is knowledge potential power? It's because we live in this age of information. We live with constant information being bombarded towards us, whether it is that we're scrolling Facebook, whether it is that we are looking on Google, whether it is that we are looking and finding things on YouTube, magazines, newspapers, billboards. There's so much information coming at us at all moments. And how do we navigate through this information? We're living in the age of information. It's amazing because we're so unbelievably connected. But at the very same time, how do we navigate the craziness of this information? And it's very simple. Integration. Integration is the biggest piece. Integration and being able to embody it. And so knowledge is not enough. And this is something that I have seen within the coaching industry, and this is this feels so unbelievably interesting for me, is that I see people talking about something. Oh, let me try to remember what it's called. Okay, it's totally lost me. Anyway, I see people talking about basically. I see people showing up giving a lot of information, like so much information. And it feels a little dry. And you can kind of tell, and sort of tell by people's energy, that perhaps they're not fully taking it into themselves and not embodying it. It's called like fraud. Shoot, this is going to totally bug me. I just said it a minute ago to myself. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so knowledge is not enough. When we hear something, we don't become the master of it. If you want to be an amazing coach, if you want to be an amazing life coach, if you want to be an amazing business coach, if you want to be an amazing health and wellness coach, if you want to be an amazing entrepreneur, embodiment is key. Integration is key. You can hear things all day long. You can be enrolled in 7 different programs, but unless you're actually using the information within your body, unless you're actually acting on the information, it's going to be very dry and it's going to be very shallow, and people are going to be able to feel that energy coming from you. We are energetic beings, guys. We are energetic beings. Everything is in vibration. Everything is energy. And so you guys can feel my energy just like I can feel your energy. Even though I can't see you, I can still feel the energy of the people that are interacting with my Facebook Lives and with my posts. Joe's on. Hi, Joe. And so energy is energy is energy. Imposter syndrome. That's what I was just talking about. Snap. It just hit me so hard. Okay, guys. So this whole idea of imposter syndrome, like people are like freaking out. People are like doing Facebook Lives on this like whole thing called imposter syndrome. And I'm like, whoa, why would people feel like an imposter? People feel like an imposter because they are teaching something that is like, that they have not yet embodied. That's how it feels to me anyway. And I'm not sure if that's actually the case. Because what is it to truly live our mission? What is it to truly live our mission from the inside out? It's the embodiment of our mission. It is actually learning something. Of course, we are called, we have a desire to learn something. We bring in new knowledge, we bring in new information. But unless we are embodying it, unless we're actually living it into existence, how could we possibly ever master it? And so what you train a million times over, you're going to get good at. Like, it's just like practice, not until you're perfect, practice until you master the thing. Practice until you cannot practice anymore. Practice until it's totally embodied within your nervous system. Like, I like to think about when I used to teach yoga classes on the daily, and I would teach every single day. And eventually it just became like, I didn't even have to think about the words that were coming out of my mouth. They were just like, brrr. And I would teach like this most epically beautiful class. And at the end of it, I would be like, I don't even know what I said. because it was just like I embodied the mission. I embodied the holding space for my clients so deeply that I didn't have to think about it anymore. It just became part of the flow of energy moving through me. So Abby says, I have been thinking a lot about the self-awareness movement and how there are a lot of tools available that a lot of people know a lot about. But I feel like there isn't enough evidence of integration. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Totally. And then Abby says, people feel like imposters when they are teaching something they themselves have not embraced. Yes, totally. Yeah, it's like, why would you, like, the only reason why I could understand why anyone would feel like an imposter is because they are not living into the potentiality that they are speaking about. And that to me feels like there's a gap. There's a gap there. And so if you in your life, I guess if you in your life feel in any way like you are in an imposter position, what is it that you need to do? How do you need to embody the mission to fill the gap between where you are right now and where you are teaching from? And that's just very simple. And so for the very first time in probably 100 Facebook Lives, I've actually written notes. So if I look down, guys, that's because I've actually written notes today. I'm like such a scribbler. I like scribble stuff down so fast, and then I try to read it, and I'm like, why did I try to write things down? I'm not even good at writing things down. Look, I'm even blushing because I'm like taking space. So anyway, let's take a deep breath into embodying and into embodying the knowledge that we're bringing in. Let's just take an inhale and an exhale through the mouth. So inhale through the nose. Okay, that felt good. So number two are there are three levels of mastery that Tony Robbins brought on yesterday. Xavier from Houston chiming in. Hello, Xavier. Welcome, my friend. So Tony Robbins talked about the three levels of mastery, and these are so simple, but I just wanted to speak them out loud so that we can really bring them again into our integration. And so the first level of mastery is cognitive, right? The first level of mastery is cognitive learning, cognitive mastery. It's where we actually learn something, where we bring it into the mind, we bring it into the prefrontal cortex, we actually bring something new into our minds to contemplate and to start to feel into and start to think about. And so first and foremost, we have the ability to bring in knowledge, right? Like the first point that I was talking about, where we bring in knowledge. And so when we bring in this knowledge, this is cognitive learning. Now, the second level of mastery is emotional mastery. This is the time when we start to think, when we start to actually feel the knowledge becoming a part of our life, meaning that we're actually starting to act on it, meaning that we're gaining lessons based on our understanding and based on our interfacing with what we have learned. And so the emotional mastery is really about the feeling state. And this feeling state is such an unbelievably beautiful space, because we cannot retain information unless we have actually felt it. We cannot retain information unless we have actually felt it. So notice something in your life, like notice what you have learned today, perhaps. Maybe you've heard a Facebook Live, or maybe you have heard something, or maybe you've just heard my Facebook Live. And number one, you heard that knowledge is not power, that knowledge is potential power, the embodiment, and the integration is the power. And so now you've just learned that. You've cognitively brought that in. Now, how does that feel in your life? Just ask yourself, like, well, what does that feel like within my own being? Like, what would that feel like to actually begin to embody that? So the feeling allows us to retain the information. And now, number three, guys, is physical mastery. Physical mastery means you embody it and own it in your physiology. And this is what I was kind of talking about and referring to when I was talking about teaching yoga classes, was that eventually it just became so second nature for me to just speak so effortlessly in flow with holding space in my yoga classes, because I was able to fully bring it into my physiology. It became so second nature because my body was sending immediate signals into my neurological system, into my nervous system, that allowed me to just feel the energy and feel the flow of what needed to be spoken in that present moment. And so those are the 3 levels of mastery. So when you guys are tuning in, I just want to say it one more time. Maybe I'll say it another time, but for now, I just want to say that because we are practicing embodiment and because we are practicing integration, what I have learned is that when we type things in, when we hear something and we type it back, or when we write it down, we get to integrate it deeper into our physiology. And so I'm going to invite you that if you hear anything on this Facebook Live that feels really exciting for you, or or it feels inspirational, if it's empowering or whatever, I'm going to invite you to write it into the comments. And this way you can really start to track it and you can really start to integrate it within your own beingness, because I know that I have to write everything down to remember it. And it's the same when I'm on a Facebook Live with someone. When I'm watching someone else's Facebook Live, I will often type into the comments what I hear them say that has been impactful for me, because I know that I'm able to integrate it in a bigger and more profound capacity. Okay. So, number three of the tidbits and the deep, juicy points that Tony Robbins introduced into my life that resonated so deeply. Number 3 is energy is everything. Energy is everything. Now this might be number 1 actually. I didn't like write these bullet points down in progression of how amazingly profound they were for me to embody and to feel. But I think that this is number 1 for me of like what I did gain from this workshop, was that energy is everything. That it's not just about motivation. It's not just about motivation, it's about motivation and strategy within your brand, within your business, within whatever it is actually that you're creating in your life, whether it be you want a more loving relationship, or whether it be you want a more badass brand, or whether it be you want more clients in your life, or whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you desire. It's not just about getting the motivation to do it, it's about having a strategy to be able to go for it. And this is not something that Tony Robbins said, but this is how I interpret that, is that motivation is a feminine goal because it is a feeling, right? Motivation is a feminine goal because it is a feeling. And feminine goals are the way that we feel. Now, masculine goals are actually having a plan or a point of action or a strategic way of getting to something. Masculine goals are result-based and result-oriented. So energy is everything. That means it's the motivation, which is the feminine energy, and the strategy, which is the masculine energy. And how do you pair the feminine and the masculine energy to show up in the most epically beautiful energy? So you have strategy and you have motivation. Like I could have motivation to get onto Facebook Live for 365 days, but it would go nowhere and I would get no results if I didn't have some kind of strategy that I moved behind these Facebook Lives, right? And these kinds of strategies I teach to my one-on-one clients, and I teach within Signature Soul Brand, one of my courses. And so the feminine energy, which is my course, Heart Official Intelligence, mixed with Signature Soul Brand, I mean, that's the energy for me. That's how I bring forward my feminine and my masculine. Those are my 2 online signature programs. And so it's about showing up in the energy that you desire, especially as someone living into their signature soul brand, especially as someone living into their personal brand. It's showing up in the energy of the results of your brand. And when we have that motivation and that strategy, we get to really embody the feeling of falling in love for the first time. I like to think of it like that. Of like, how does it feel? How does it, like, I just want you to feel this in your body just for a moment. You can even close your eyes if you really would like to. And just feel, what does it feel like to be in the energy of falling in love for the very first time? Maybe not for the very first time, but for like the new energy of love. Like you have met somebody new and you have just fallen in love with them. Like, you feel so unbelievable. And people like turn heads, like to look at you guys as you're walking down the street fully in love for the first time. You're walking down the street and like synchronicities are manifesting, things are manifesting towards you. You are so magnetic with your energy. You've got like this rosy glow to you. You're just so unbelievably in love. And that's the energy that we want to bring into your business. That's the energy that we want to bring into your brand, because ultimately people feel that love energy. So if we can embody high love energy in our business and our brand, like it's so next level. It's extraordinary. It's like magnetizing beyond anything, right? Because that love energy, that's life force energy. That is the energy that sustains life. And so that love energy is like, that's the goal. That's the goal. And then beyond that, to be in the energy of the results of your brand, or the results or the promise that your business is giving to your potential clients, being in that energy. Now, number 4 of Tony Robbins' beautiful insights is the energy of the people around you shape you. I want to say that one more time. And if that feels resonant for you guys, I want you guys to write that down in the comments. The energy of the people around you shape you. Those that you surround yourself with, you become. So I want you to think about your circle of influence. I want you to think about the circle of friends that you surround yourself with on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and feel into the energy of the people that you surround yourself with. And I want you to just ask yourself, would it be possible for you to branch out and create a new belief system of abundance, of success, of not just success, but massive success beyond your wildest dreams, to create a business and a brand that perhaps does not even align with the thoughts or beliefs of your friends who are still working for other people or living in a different kind of life experience? As an entrepreneur, that is unbelievably necessary. To find human beings who align with your belief systems, or your new belief systems of abundance and massive wild success and beautiful elevation and beautiful exponential wealth in your life. Who are you surrounding yourself with, and are you unbelievably, undividedly supported within rising into your next level? And that is a big reason why for the past 2 years, I have always been enrolled in other people's courses, like Stephanie Schultz, for one example, or Melanie Ann Layer, just other people's beautiful and like other people's online courses, because although I love the beautiful people that I surround myself with here in Ann Arbor, there's a next level. I feel a next level for myself. And so I integrate within these programs of women who are stepping into their next level too, so that I can consistently every single day gain the support that I need. And that's why I'm always working with a coach and always working with somebody who's going to hold me to my next level, because who we surround ourselves with, we rise to. Who we surround ourselves with, we become. We take on their belief systems, we take on their thoughts, we take on their identities, we take on their beingness, because it's natural as a human being to want to be part of the tribe. It's natural as a human being to want to fit in. And so automatically we go towards fitting in. Automatically we go towards not really wanting to stand out. But as an entrepreneur, we are born to stand out. As an entrepreneur and as a woman creating her brand and her business, we are born to take it to the next level. And so who are you supporting yourself with? Who are you getting into the vibe of? And that's why I have my course, Artificial Intelligence, and that's why I have my course, Signature Soul Brand, so that I can create these epic next level containers for my clients to step into, to calibrate to my energy and calibrate to the energy of the beautiful next level participants that come into my courses. Deborah, hi, welcome. Welcome to my Facebook Lives. And Shane, welcome. Xavier says the energy of the people around you shape you. Yes, it is so unbelievably true. And here's the thing, guys, is that if you don't train yourself, other people's thoughts will become your thoughts. Other people's belief systems will become your belief systems. The way other people act will be the way that you act. unless you train yourself, unless you get into these next level vibed out groups of women or men or whoever it is that you are excited about being in that space with, unless you can hold yourself to that, you are going to be shaped unbelievably by the people that you surround yourself with. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Okay, number 5. 5's the last one. So here we go, guys. Number 5, emotions are the ultimate resource. Emotions are the ultimate resource. Now, I want you in your life to think about a time that perhaps you failed. And don't worry about it. Everybody fails. We all have what we would probably consider failures. I like to, of course, think about them as pivoting opportunities. I like to think about them as opportunities of growth. I like to think about them as transition times for us to rise into that next level, whatever that might be. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, each and every one of us has what we might define as a failure. And so I want you to just think about what led you to that failure. Like, why did you fail? Think about that just for a second. And so for many, many people, they say, I failed because I didn't have enough money. Or I failed because I didn't have enough time. Or I failed because I had some kind of lack of something like that. I had a lack of technology, or I had a lack of support around me, or I had a lack of this or a lack of that, lack of time, lack of money, lack of some kind of resource. But most of the time, when we blame our failure on something lacking, we're often blaming that sense of failure on something lacking that is outside of ourselves. And Tony Robbins reminded me, in such a beautiful way, of course, that emotions are the ultimate resource. That in fact, if you get your emotions behind something, emotionally charged in creativity, in compassion, in emotionally charged towards your success, emotionally charged, if you can get your emotions behind something, if you can feel like you want it and desire it to the point where the entirety of your beingness feels like it wants it, nothing can stand in your way. If you're emotionally charged and emotionally driven towards what it is that you desire and what it is that you require and what it is that you want in your life, ultimately, if that's the case, nothing can stand in your way. And so get your emotions behind everything that you do. It's so true. Like, if you were actually emotionally invested in that thing that failed in the first place, if you were so emotionally invested, like even if something didn't go exactly the way that you planned, you would find another way. There are always 700 billion ways to create something. And if you can get emotionally charged towards it, like create a mission for yourself, create the vision and the mission, and emotionally drive it into existence, nothing can stand in your way. You are so powerful through your emotions, through your emotional field. And this is the big part of Artificial Intelligence, my online course. It's an 8-week course that we dive so deep into emotional intelligence. I want to show and share with every single woman on this planet, I swear it. I want to share with you guys how to be in your magic. Women are so unbelievably magic and so unbelievably magnetic when we are connected to the frequency of our heart. When we are living in our masculine, we are so unbelievably up here, running the worries, running the fears, running the doubts, running the scared, running the me. When we're living in our masculine, we're living from up here. We're living result-based, we're living result-oriented. And so I want to bring women back into this next level paradigm, back into the heart, back into the juiciness of the heart and the body, the embodiment of your next level manifestation, the embodiment of what it is that you're truly meant to be here for. Women are so magic. I can't even begin to tell you guys, when I was in a room full of 100 women last week in this extraordinary workshop called Temple Body Activation, the synchronicities that were happening, the magic that was showing up. It was so extraordinary, and that's what I want to remind women of, is that when we can connect the frequencies of the heart and the mind, when we can begin to harmonize the frequencies of the heart and the mind and bring this new next level, new paradigm experience into our embodiment, we can move mountains and we can create miracles. And I've seen it firsthand. And I see it again and again and again and again with the extraordinary, beautiful women who continuously sign up for artificial intelligence. I mean, I have women in this program who have been in this program, who are committed for an entire year. It's an 8-week program. And I have women in this who have been through the program now twice, and they're committed for an entire year, because it is so extraordinary. And when we can get in a vibe space together, like what I was talking about, who you surround yourself with, you become. And so if you can get in my vibe, if you can get in these other women's vibe who have been in artificial intelligence before, think about how your growth will be exponential. Your growth in terms of your love, who and what you are here to love, what it is that you are here to devote yourself to. There are 4 modules in artificial intelligence. The first module is the relationship to the great part of yourself that is divine. The relationship to that extraordinary expression of exquisiteness that is the feminine genius. And then module 2 has to do with your relationship to your body, getting into the body and moving stuck emotions. That's the big part of it, is that we really dig into moving the stuck emotions that no longer serve, from past relationships, from past trauma, from past wounding. We hold that together in a collective space of raising the vibration around it and moving the emotions in the body. And then the third module is the module, it is the module of connection. It is the module of love. It is the module where we dig into relationships, where we dig into our extraordinary new paradigm way of communicating with one another, communicating our desires, communicating what it is that we desire to the universe and to our partners and to our friends and to the humans that we surround ourselves with. So it's all about next level relationship. And then fourth and finally, it is the module of devotion. What it is that it is your mission, your purpose, what it is that you are devoted to as a feminine leader. So this course is about feminine leadership, to take you into that space of devotion to life, devotion to earth, devotion to self, devotion to partner, devotion to your next level genius. So beautiful ones. This is as far as I will go here today. What I want to do really quickly before I bounce off of this Facebook Live is I want to go through them one at a time, just really quickly, just to sum it up. Number 1, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Embody your power. Number 2, 3 levels of mastery. 1, cognitive mastery. 2, emotional mastery. 3, physical mastery. Third, energy is everything. Motivation and strategy, the feminine and the masculine, combined into your energy. 4, the energy of the people that you surround yourself with, you become. And finally, 5, emotions are the ultimate resource. Yes, Abby, emotions are the ultimate resource. And Xavier says we rise to our true league through the people we frequently meet. Yes. All right, beautiful beings, such a pleasure to be on here with each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Those who commented, thank you for commenting. If one way or another this video inspired you or empowered you or has inspired you to take action within your life, I will invite you to share this video onto your personal page or into a group that would find this a compelling video. We never know who's going to be scrolling your Facebook feed and see this video and really need it. It's really, this is maybe is the message that you really need to hear today. So happy Halloween, everyone. Go out and celebrate. Take care of your bodies, take care of your minds, take care of your emotions. And I love you so much.